Hello, everybody. Dr. Carmen Bryant, Redefining Yourself, a program that was developed for women who are contemplating leaving, needing more information, or recovering from domestic violence, specifically narcissist abuse. Today, I wanted to talk about the female narcissist. And if you've been following me on YouTube, and first of all, I apologize. Sometimes as calls come through on my telephone, it'll cut off because once I get to a certain time during the day, the call volume is so high on my telephone, and it knocked me off of recording. And so I did not properly prepare yesterday when I did the narcissist, marital rape, intimacy, and sex. And so at the very end, it cut off as I was trying to provide my email address. So I apologize for that. So what I did was I made arrangements so that I won't be interrupted during the course of the recording. But today, well, if you've been following my YouTube channel, I highly recommend following it in order, and it'll lay a foundation of what narcissists look like, And so narcissists, which means females and males alike. It just so happened that this program I was more focused on the females that are in relationship with males. Now, narcissist abuse and domestic violence is across the board. It doesn't matter if race, ethnicity, it doesn't matter what gender or sexual preference, it does not matter. Abuse is abuse is abuse, and narcissist abuse is narcissist abuse. The way that it may come off, most of the features the features of narcissistic personality disorder and the way that they do what they do, it goes for males and females alike. Now, there are some things that are a little different with the female, but the traits are the exact same. So I encourage you to look at the videos from bottom to top on the YouTube channel, and it lays a foundation of what to expect and what narcissist abuse looks like. And so when I begin to talk about the female, you'll know, with the videos that you've watched, those traits are the same for the female, just like the male. So today I just wanted to talk about what the female narcissist looks like. And so one of the things about male versus female, and this is, for each one of us clinicians and life coach, we've had our different experiences, when it comes to clinical setting and what I've seen in a clinical setting versus, what I've seen, real life and experience. And so I bring you information based off of what I've observed, in a counseling setting, what I have observed from personal experiences, to talk to you about, narcissist abuse. However, each individual person has had a different experience or had different training, to provide you with information. So all of our experiences may not be alike, but a lot of the features and a lot of the things that we talk about is very similar. And so, as I said, I don't know everything because I haven't had an experience with everything. Out of the hundreds and thousands and millions of people in this earth, each individual person is different. You have those narcissists that are introverted, they're kind of quiet. And you have those narcissists that are extroverts. They're more, there are some they're talkers and some that are quiet. Most of the features are very similar across the board. How they do what they do may be a little different because they're individual people. And so I'm just going to give you some examples of a female narcissist today. And so let's start off with, and this is not a general statement meaning that all men and women are like this. Usually when I get males and females in counseling, especially like couples, the biggest thing is communication problems. And many times we as females want the males to communicate with us and talk to us the way that we talk and we think. Well, males do not think the same way that females think, and females do not think the same way a man thinks. On the average, and this is not all, because there are some men that have been raised by great women. And so they've picked up on a lot of the ways that women talk. We talk, and when we talk, we describe things emotionally because we're more of the nurturers, and so we're more. And I gave this example all the time. If me and a female are talking, like, girl, what did the office look like? Oh, it felt so warm and it had a wonderful smell, or it stunk, but it had a wonderful smell and the colors, and it was just a warm feeling. I felt so comfortable, and the colors, and if you ask him, the average male, you're like, well, what did the office look like? An office, well, how did it look? Like an office with chairs in it. I don't know. what did it feel like? Well, I don't know what it felt like, but it looked like an office. Well, what was the person like? I mean, she was cool. She was all right, pretty professional and everything, so you see the way that we describe things is different. Females are more descriptive, and when they talk about something, they put their emotions in it. And most of the times when women are thinking, we talk it out. We speak out. We verbalize, and we talk. A lot of times we talk our way through stuff. Men, most, not all, most men, they internalize, and so when they have a problem or they're trying to think something out, they get quiet and they think and they get quiet. And so this is where we usually confuse it with that he doesn't talk to me, he doesn't say very much to me, he doesn't communicate with me. Well, by the time he brings you an answer, it may be later, because he's thought it out and you've already figured it out. And so by the time he's figured it out, you're looking at him like, okay, well, I've already figured that out. Why did it take so long? So there's a difference in the way that a man and a female thinks, and the way that we kind of communicate, because we're descriptive and we use colors and smells. And so a lot of times, we have to learn how a man communicates. We have to learn how a female communicates. And that's the biggest problem most of the times when people come into counseling, is that they don't understand how a male and female communicates. And so, he won't talk to me. He's not emotional. He won't express his emotions. Well, most men are not like that unless they were taught to do that by, if they were raised by a lot of women, they were told to be, expressive with their conversation, and they learn to do that, and there are some men that can out-talk a woman. Not saying that all of us are like that, but, there are some men that can out-talk a woman, especially now you're dealing with a narcissist. A narcissist male is almost like a car salesman, or a good salesman. They can throw you a pitch and get the money out of your pocket, and by the time you realize, you're like, I made a really bad decision, because they're talkers, and what we call hustlers. That's what a male narcissist is. They're a hustler. They'll throw something out to see how if it doesn't work, they'll throw something else out. They'll do this, they'll throw something out, so they're trying to bait you. It's like, I'm throwing out a fishing rod to see if you'll catch the hook, and once I can get it in your mouth, oh, okay, that's the spot, so let me start reeling her in. So they're hustlers. If you slow them down, and some of you get so frustrated you can't. If you slow them down, you'll realize that they're playing a game. They're throwing stuff out there, and once you catch on to what they're saying, they switch the topic. Okay, so now let's talk about the females. So first of all, a female knows how to market themselves. They become a calling card. And there are a couple sites that I went on here. One of the sites that I went on, I like going to blogs and I like going to other people's sites, because a lot of times when I present information, it's so clinical, and I have to figure out, how do I take what I'm thinking or what I know and put it in layman terms. I can use clinical terms. Not everybody understands clinical terminology, and so a lot of times I go and look to see how can I translate that into just common language to help you with the experience or what it looks like. And so one of the sites that I went on, I don't want to give you that site because it gets to a point where they're describing something, but it gets almost pornographic, and so I thought it was kind of inappropriate, especially for broadcasting. But I'll give you some pieces and parts. Now, this site that I'm on is Psychology and I, and it just gives a few little things that I wanted to talk to. So and I'll go to each page and let you know where I'm at, so you can check on what I'm saying. But a lot of stuff comes from a clinical experience and personal experiences and observations, and some of you have your own experience, and I believe that if you give someone knowledge and you open up that place of knowledge where you didn't have knowledge, and you get information and you're educated about something, you can actually put two and two together. Oh my gosh, that means this, or that's why this person used to do this and this. You have some experiences that I don't have, or you may have some observations that I don't have, but once you get the information, you can put two and two together yourself. Okay, so they're good at marketing themselves. So they'll be anything, like a chameleon. No different than the male counterpart. They're like chameleons. They crave attention so much. They want to be the center of attention, but they have to figure out how to do it depending on their crowd. And so with a mother, most females have a nurturing nature. Most females, not all of them, because they're also predators. So a lot of them have that mother instinct, that auntie, that nurturing type of instinct. And so when they want to draw people to them, remember, they're no different than the male. They'll have conversations with you, but a woman is able to have a conversation with you on a maternal level to a point where you'll open up because you feel safe. You'll open up and tell her all the things that are bothering you. Tell her all your intimate thoughts and feelings. She's not listening to you so that she can help you. Now, she may play the role. She's a chameleon. She'll play the role to pull you in, and you love her, and she's like, my mom, it's my aunt, you know, I'm going to take care of her. But there's something that she wants from you. 9 times out of 10 is adoration, attention, loyalty, and probably your money too, you know. And so she'll reel you in like that. But remember that she's not using that to comfort you, counsel you, help you. They're not going to help build you up, because a female narcissist looks at another female as competition. And if she can dominate you, she wants to dominate. And if she can dominate you and she can pull you in, she sees you as weak. If she can pull you in to get you with her, if she can pull you in to get you to be her friend, if she can pull you in to get you and mesh with you, she already sees you as weak. They're so vindictive to a point that they can be in a relationship with a male. They're willing to have a sexual encounter with a female to dominate that female. So they're willing to be bisexual, only not, and I'm not talking about the ones that, you know, that is their lifestyle. That's a part of your lifestyle. Whether you're lesbian, you're bisexual, that is your choice. The point that I'm making is in narcissistic females, they're willing to have a lesbian experience in order to dominate another female. And yet they're not going to stay in a relationship with a female. They just want to dominate the female because they want to suck those emotions out. They want total control, where that female is totally dependent on her, you know, mother-wise. And sometimes they're so envious and so jealous that if they feel like they've lost control over that female, let's say that female meets someone and they start dating and get married or date, they're willing to sabotage it to go back and pursue this female and plant seeds of doubt, or even have another sexual experience, or have a sexual experience with them to destroy or to create division, or to cause them to break up, because she wants that dominance. She wants that control. And once she breaks them up and proved her point, she doesn't have anything to do with them anymore, the females anymore. Sometimes you'll see her with a large following, or if she sees another female in a position of power or authority, she wants that type of following. She wants that type of adoration. She wants that type of authority. So she'll try to and try to befriend or try to get close to that female that is dominant, or, you know, because that's what she wants. And what happened, like I said, she loses respect. If she can get control over the person, she loses total respect for him. She has no respect. And if she's very jealous and envious, she wants that power that female has. And if she's dealing with a female that is very strong, that's very dominant, you know, and is not easily manipulated, she hates that female. She will do what she does to everybody else. Then she ignores them. Then she doesn't have much to say. She treats them as an outcast, you know. And female hasn't done anything to it. And some females like, okay, oh well, that's you, you know. But they hate it because they can't get the attention. They want that adoration from that female, and they want that type of power. And so they're they're dominators. They're dominating. They're facetious. They, you know, when it comes to males, they'll use their sexuality. And so they already in their mind have it where men are weak when it comes to sex, when it comes to sexuality, you know, when it comes to seductions, that they'll go all out to seduce a male that they have their eyes locked on. That man can be with another woman. That man could be married. That man can have a fiance, a girlfriend. But if they have their eyes locked on that individual, they'll do everything. They'll cook for him. They'll rub their heads. They'll rub their back. You know, and a lot of times you'll notice they have no boundaries. They're inappropriate. Even in their conversations, it's like too much information. TMI. They give too much information. They draw these pictures in these men's head. They seduce them. It depends on what they're wearing. You know, may bend over to pick up something. You know, rub their breast against their back. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. You know, these are so big. You know, they'll do inappropriate things, and then when you call them out on it, they're like, girl, you know my breasts are real big. You know, I can't help myself. You can't be jealous over me. But you, in the back of your mind, you're thinking like, something is just not right. Something is very inappropriate. They're very inappropriate, and they're very rude. You know, and they lack common courtesy. They lack courtesy. Um, or the way that a female will, like if she has a partner, she wants to dominate that man. She wants to dominate that man, and once you attach with her, she already sees you as being weak anyway. She wants what she wants, and she'll do everything to include ignoring you, humiliating you in public. Women, if you're with a man, don't you ever disrespect. One thing that my mentor taught me, and one thing that I watched her do, don't you ever disrespect a man in public. You can do a lot of things to a woman, and we're very, very forgiving. But once you humiliate or embarrass a man in public, they lose respect for you. Anytime you disrespect or dishonor a man, they lose a sense of respect for you. I don't care how much you try to dominate them or not, but once you disrespect them, dishonor them, humiliate them, or embarrass them in public, I don't care what they do to you. Even a narcissist man, you know, if that's what you want to stay with, that's what you want to stay with. You're trying to get out, it doesn't matter. Okay, so don't worry about what I say. But if you're in a good relationship, or if you're in a relationship where you're just having some communication problems, same thing that I say when I'm sitting in counseling. Don't you ever humiliate or embarrass that man or dishonor him in front of anybody, because they lose a sense of respect for you. There's a part of them that goes away that is hard. That is hard to come back. It's hard to get back after you do that. But a female narcissist knows that I'm going to humiliate you. I'm going to do whatever I can to embarrass you. And a female narcissist is always the victim. And so domestic violence is wrong all across the board. I do not believe in domestic violence. It is wrong. You do not have the right to impose your will or to control anybody. You don't have the right to do that to anybody. They have free will. They can make their you two are two different individual people with two different experiences, two different thoughts, and you respect each other for your differences. That's why you come together, because you like each other's differences, and then you have some commonality together. Well, a female narcissist, if you don't think, just like a male, you know, if you won't give her what she wants, she will ignore you, she will humiliate you, she will cuss you out, she will antagonize you. They'll get to a point where now, for each, you know, each situation is different. You know, you can have a man that has never put his hands on a woman or said anything rude, or maybe he have some some anger issues, but they will antagonize them, almost force them to fight. And a lot of times the female narcissist is actually the perpetrator of domestic violence. And so when the man actually puts his hand on there, she'll blow it up, and she becomes the victim. You know, you can thump her on the head, and all of a sudden she comes with a grapefruit bruise on her eye. You know, you're trying to close the door on her, all of a sudden her hand is broken and she's got a body cast. You know, so she'll feign sickness, she'll swoon, she'll, you know, oh my gosh, you put your hands on me, and so she becomes the victim. She's the victim, and you're always gonna look like you're the aggressor. Another thing. When, you know, a female is normally more likely to go to counseling than a male is. And so a female will go, they'll never be vulnerable. They'll give you just enough information for you to feel sorry for them, and oh my gosh, and this. A female narcissist knows narcissist. They'll even teach about narcissism. But they'll always make the mate look like the narcissist. They'll make the mate look like the monster. They'll make the mate look like they're the aggressors, and in actuality, it's the female. Oh, they cry. They go through a range of emotions. I've watched it happen too many times. They'll cry and all emotional, and if you kind of sit there, because remember, they're trying to draw out emotions from everybody. They need a reaction from people. And as a therapist, you know, a lot of times I don't give emotions like that. I kind of listen, because I want to see where you're going with this, you know. And the female, you'll see them go, they have unpredictable moods, so they'll cry. So they're trying to they use their emotions. And if you notice, if you don't respond to it and you change the conversation or change the focus, the tears all of a sudden disappear, or there were never tears anyway, or they get angry because you don't care. You know, what kind of therapist are you? What kind of woman are you that you don't care? What kind of leader are you that you don't care? And you know, you're so unempathetic. You have no empathy. You don't care about anyone. They're projecting, because they're playing a game. Remember, they're salespeople too. So a lot of them have unpredictable mood. They don't regulate their mood. They don't regulate their, what comes out of their mouth. They have no self-control. So they'll say whatever they want to say, and a lot of times they do it behind closed doors. So by the time you come out in public, it's the guy that looks like the bad guy. So men, I'm telling you this: a big butt and a pretty smile. That right there will get you in trouble. That right there will get you attached to a narcissist. And when she gets her claws, this site here labeled her, what they say about narcissist female, they're like black widows. They're like black widow spiders. I have to find it on another site. But the way that they punish their mate is they disengage, they use neglect, they abandon the partner, they punish the partner. They have a hard time processing shame. If another female points out something that they've done wrong, better believe that in their mind, even though they may like, you're right, and I'm sorry, and you're right, better believe in their mind they put a check mark and they're holding a grudge against you. And they're trying to find any kind of way either to humiliate you or to bring you down or to come up against you. And a lot of times they're very frustrated because, remember, a female narcissist, like the male narcissist, has a very low self-esteem. They have a very low sense of worth. And most of the time they can't control their emotions, so they'll lose. They're very jealous, very insecure. Even when they're in a relationship, they're very insecure. Very, 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 very insecure in the relationships, and so they become very jealous. They become very controlling. They don't want the man talking to so-and-so, because every woman is a competitor. They see them as a competitor. On the professional side of the house, a lot of females, not all of them, a lot of females that are narcissists have very poor people skills. They may be good at numbers, they may be good at statistics, they may be good at development things, but a lot of times they have very poor leadership ability when it comes to the people that they work with. And if the people that they may have different teams, and so if those teams do not worship them, or if the teams do not admire them, see, they may have control over making monetary decisions and distributions of money, and they'll use that to pull you in, to show you I have control and I have control over your money, so I need you to admire me and I need you. What they'll do, though, is that if they can't get the admiration and the attention that they want, they will actually plant the seeds in the teams to cause the teams to come at odds with each other. And so what they'll do is they'll talk to different people on the team to cause them to be at odds and cause distrust on the team. If they the other thing too is that then they'll reach out to different team members to look like the hero. Oh, tell me about it. Let me see what I can do. And really they're the ones that cause the chaos. They're the ones that cause the problem. They can't get what they want, and they'll even try to humiliate, employees. Another thing that they do is they'll work in the background. So they may have people that work for them, and they'll plant the seeds or say things to the supervisors and the managers so that they don't look like the bad guy. So when you go and complain about something, they know what you're thinking because you're telling them what you're thinking, and then they have to look like the hero. Okay, I got this one, let me work with this one. But then they cause friction among the management with them as well, meaning the narcissist female and the management. And so they'll play everybody against each other. And then they sit back as if it wasn't me. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. They like to attach to very powerful men. So they usually look for men that are in positions of power. Even if they're married. They look for men that are in positions of power. They look for men that may own, because they want to be attached to them, and they try to control the man and everything that they do from the background. A lot of times the man is influenced by, it's almost like they're a puppet, and so they're influenced by the woman in the background. Let's see. If you go back and watch trauma bonds, same thing that I said about the male narcissist, the females will belittle your accomplishments, your hopes, and your dreams. What they'll do is they'll compliment you, and then they'll belittle you. They'll compliment you about this, and then so it's almost like, I don't know whether, am I even a human being? Should I function in this earth? What do I do right? You give me, oh my gosh, you're just over emotional. Let's see. Very envious. They're very, very envious. A lot of times you'll notice they'll try to, they'll see someone that they want to dominate, a female, and they try to mock her or try to mirror her. And if they can't dominate her, like I said, they'll, you can't discard something you never had, but they'll treat you from a distance. Let's see. They'll even get upset and have nothing to do with these group of people, but they always come back. Like, say you're dealing with leadership, they always come back just to see if they still have some control, because everything that they do, they want to get back at the person that stood up to them, so, and they're bullies. The females are bullies. They're willing to fight females. Like I said, they're willing to have a sexual encounter with them just to dominate them, but they're bullies. So a lot of times they use their anger, they use their temper. They're actresses. They'll play the victim. Woe is me. Oh my gosh. I'm the victim. I don't understand why people treat me like this. That is so unfair. Let's see. Let's go to another one. So remember, a lot of them are very into their appearance, so they're very seductive. They find themselves very attractive, so they look at men as being weak anyway. And so if a man is not attracted to them or pays them no attention, they will hurl insults and do a smear campaign and have a lot to say. They'll plant little seeds in the people around them for them to look negatively against that male, so men, you have to be strong. You can't, just like I said, you can't let a big butt and a pretty smile impress you. You got to see what's in here. You got to see that females are predators just like males are. So you got to use some wisdom. They use the seduction. Here on this one is Site Central. They had some terminology that I like. So both male and female narcissists are generally gifted in the art of seduction. But how they seduce is very differently. Males use their charm to entice a mate, and females use their bodies to allure a mate. This can sometimes be seen as provocative clothing. So see that the way that they do it is the same yet different. And they usually, if you fall for their charms, they already see you as being weak. Let's see. Remember that they may portray themselves as being very confident, very strong, but they're very insecure and they're very weak individual. Let's see. The love of money is strong for narcissists. They believe money gives them power and control, success and status, and dominance over people. Males are preoccupied with obtaining money at all costs, including stealing from family and friends. Females enjoy excessively spending money. Not all of them, but some of them. Let's see. Fidelity. If a narcissist fails to get attention they believe they deserve, they will seek it from the outside of the committed relationship. While both can be faithful, males tend to be serial adulterers. Females act more like black widow spiders, idealizing their mate to attract them and then emasculate them. That's the whole thing. They want dominance. And so when they're with a man, they want to emasculate you because they want to They want to emasculate you and they want to dominate you, and they'll do it at all costs. They don't care. They'll go at all costs to emasculate you, and they want what they want, and you are to, men, you got to be strong and learn how to say no. And I'm not saying that from an abusive perspective, but if a woman is trying to dominate you, a woman doesn't dominate a man. What kind of relationship you're in where you're allowing the woman to dominate you? You have to learn to say no and stick to the no. If she becomes violent, or she, and it's already in a society where people don't realize men get abused too. A lot, but most men won't report it. And so if she becomes abusive, it might be your best bet to go find somewhere else to stay or to get away from her. Let her be destructive all by herself, because she'll self-destruct. Remember, they use their emotions, they tear up, they use their femininity. They will use children, so they'll get pregnant to lock you in. They'll get pregnant if they're very patient. Very patient predators, male and female, very patient predators. They'll let you have whatever lifestyle you want while they're seeking you or hunting you down. Once they've locked into the person that they want, or if they locked into a person that they want control over, they're very patient. They're very patient in spewing that venom in you. They're very patient in making that, putting that spider web around you and reeling you in and being there when you're hurt, rubbing your back, inappropriate relationship conversations. Let me get you some coffee. If they're cooks, good cooks, they'll feed you, make you feel good. They get you. They'll lock you in and have a baby to lock you in. And then they'll use the baby against you because they know that you won't leave. If you're a good father, they know that you won't leave. So they'll lock you in with a baby. Let's see. Here it says that So males generally view children as a nuisance, frequently complaining that they, not the children, should have all the attention of their spouse or partner. So males will compete with kids to get all the attention from the spouse. Females view children as an extension of themselves. So do males. And all the cases are not the same, but females view the children as an extension of themselves even when the child is an adult. Everything the child accomplishes is a reflection of their superior parenting. And so when an adult child, become a football player, become a rocket science and NASA astronaut, whatever, the parent is not celebrating the accomplishment of the child. The parent is celebrating because you're making me look good and you make my parenting skills look good. You go to this university, you graded cum laude or laude, whatever. Oh Lord, whatever. So they become an extension of that parent, and you're making that parent. They brag about you. My child is on the moon. My child is the president. Whatever. It's because they're going to get the attention. The parent is going to get the attention. So let's see. Competition. Nothing proves supremacy quite like competitions for narcissists. They love an opportunity to excel over others at work and at home. While the competitive is frequently praised in the job, it is not amongst family. Males treat other males as rivals. This can be seen brother to brother, parent to child relationship. Females battle with other females for dominance. This is seen as sister and sister and parent-child relationship. But females want dominance. They want to dominate. And males see other males as rivals. Females see other females as rivals too, all the time. Especially if you are a woman, like I said, if you are a woman that has some power, has some authority, owns a business, has an education, that female sees you, they want to dominate you. They want to dominate you and to show everyone that I can dominate her. I can dominate her and she does what I want her to do. And look what she has and look who she is. And she may be rich or she may be whatever. I can dominate that female. But they despise, they really despise, they despise the female, and once they get dominance over you, once they get control over you, they have no respect for you whatsoever. Some of them have great sense of humor. Some of them are really fun to be around, but it's all to reel you back in. And then when they're tired, they have no respect for you, because once they can dominate you or can talk to you any kind of way, they'll fight, they'll beat up the other females to maintain that group, or that following. And when it's like a pride, the lions get out of line or the elephants get out of line, the elephants put them back in line. Well, that female is like that. If you get out of line and I'm losing control over you, I'll beat you back into submission, or I'll manipulate you or seduce you back into whatever they need to do. So when you're talking to a female, you giving her all your emotions, they know exactly what each person needs in order to reel them back in. And it's a constant emotional game with these females, just like the males. Let's see some other traits. Let's look. Let's see. They're very self-centered. We already know that. We've gotten past that. They usually have a problem with long-term relationships, with girlfriends, or maintain romantic relationship. They blame relationship problems on others instead of taking any responsibility. They'll take just enough responsibility to make you feel sorry for them. Other than that, they will not take accountability for how destructive they are in the relationship. And especially if it's a domestic violence relationship and it's really them that is the aggressor, they're not going to tell you that. They'll always tell you what the other person is doing. And then they will actually describe narcissism. They'll call the other person, they'll label the other person. They come into counseling, they know more than the counselor does. They may have a GED or no education at all, but they know more than the counselor does. They're smarter than the average person, and their partners have these mental health conditions, and the partners have, has narcissism. And I'm telling you, I researched it. This is what my partner have. And in actuality, it's the narcissistic females with narcissism, but they'll label the other person narcissist. Once you call them out for what they are, 9 times out of 10, either they're going to become very aggressive with you, argumentative with you, or they just stop coming. They won't come to you anymore. Most narcissists will stay with me. Usually I refer them out, but they won't stay with me. Let's see, what else? So for instance, a woman, so self-centeredness, for a woman who's a narcissist, has a narcissistic personality disorder, she may get married and have children, and then she'll put all her wishes and needs above those of her and her children. because she wants to focus on her. Even the pregnancy, I want all the focus on me. It's not about the baby. I get all this attention that I desire. Attention-seeking behavior. They'll do almost anything to get attention. Especially go through that range of emotions, woe is me, that victim mentality. She'll make her stories more dramatic than what they are. Let's see. They lack empathy. It leads them to many social problems. They can be very rude and abrasive. And then they play dumb, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was rude. I am so sorry. I don't understand. Explain it to me. That's why they have a problem relating to other people. Let's see. They have a hard time reading social cues and responding to them. Let's see. I apologize. I had to look at the front door. Someone was trying to come in. It was my mailman. Criticism. So a woman who is a narcissist does not respond well to criticism, even if the criticism is thoughtful and constructive. This is off of livingstrong.com. Even if the criticism is thoughtful and constructive, but she's quick to criticize other people. So even when you're working in a job setting, if you're working somewhere where you have a boss, or you want constructive criticism. A person cares when they correct you to help you be better. But there's a difference between correcting you and helping you to get better, as opposed to criticizing you. In the military, you go in as a civilian. The basic training breaks you down to get you to stop thinking like a civilian and single-minded, and teach you how to think as a team. They teach you protocol, they teach you respect and honor, they teach you the traditions of the military, they teach you basic things, basic rifle drills, they get your physical stamina up, they teach you physical training, they teach you accountability and responsibility, and they begin to teach you how to be a leader when you come in. When you graduate from your basic training, you go to an advanced individual school called A School, AIT, advanced individual training for your specific job. So that, but you want someone to teach you and give you constructive criticism to make you better. You can't take someone into basic training and break them down and then never build them back up. Well, a narcissist, female and male, a narcissist will break you down, but they never build you up. But they'll kind of dismiss it as, okay, but I'm trying to help you. No, and you can almost tell they give you so much criticism, but they never help build you up. There's a difference between constructive criticism to tell you what you've done wrong and to help build you and try it this way and do it better this way, versus that trauma bonding where they compliment you and then they tear you down. They compliment you, then they abuse you, So there's a difference between the two, and I highly recommend going to watch that. But she's very, very critical of other people. Very critical of other people. But if you take that same criticism and put it on her, she'll fight, she'll discard you, she becomes a victim, and oh my gosh, I can't believe how awful you are. Let's see. A woman with this issue probably becomes angry and possibly defiant when criticized by peers, supervisors, friends, and family. She may respond with anger, and even though she feels deep embarrassment, she may respond to anger though she's actually feeling deep embarrassment and shame. Okay, so the next one is, now this is the one that was kind of perverse toward the end, kind of too much information. So I'm just going to give you pieces and parts of this. They don't have boundaries, and so they don't have a problem with manipulating men inappropriately sexually or telling them extremely private information about their lives. And a lot of times when if they're married and they're trying to hurt their partner to try to gain control, they'll do things that they know is inappropriate and really would hurt the partner. For example, having an affair with another man or giving another man attention when they're ignoring the other man. They give too much information. They have no boundaries. For example, we have to have respect for someone else's husband. They have no boundaries when it comes to having conversations with another woman's husband. They'll give too much information. They're very detailed. They may be very sexual, touching them. Women, you don't have no business touching another man. shake his hand and that's about it, but you better recognize the wife. You make sure that you honor the wife and respect the wife. Those are boundaries that you put in place. But a narcissistic female totally ignores you and then focuses in on your spouse. Very inappropriate conversation, very inappropriate touching, rubbing the hand, rubbing the back, and then when the wife is like, that was very inappropriate, and like, oh, she just like that, she touchy-feely, oh, no. Sometimes men, you got to listen to your wives. A wife will pick up on a female very quickly. But women, you become competition to that female, even if it's your husband, even if it's your boyfriend, because you have something that they want. Let's see. Very inappropriate. Give you entirely too much information. They jump into relationships too quick. They give you stories about their childhood. Just inappropriate. Just too much information too fast. And you're looking like, why is she having a conversation like this? Another thing that they do, though they're very grandiose and want people to focus on them and they play the victims a lot, you don't hear them talking up about themselves. Men highlight things that are not true. They'll create this facade of things they have and they're greater and they're connected with these great individuals. A female, what they'll do is they'll talk down. They'll talk about being crazy, I'm a loser, I'm ugly, reflecting her lack of self-esteem. So she'll talk about all the horrible things. I was abandoned, I was abused as a child, I'm just, no one cares about me, I don't feel attractive, I'm ugly, I'm worthless, I'm this, because they want you to say, oh no, oh my gosh, you're a powerful young lady, oh my, they want you to do that, After a while, it gets kind of tiring. Even in therapy, we're empathetic and we know, listen, but I don't keep doing it. And some of them get angry because I won't keep doing it. And it's likewise when you meet people, you don't keep doing it. You just, hey, let's focus on something else. They want to focus on themselves. They're clingy to the point of becoming stalkers. So they become over clingy to the people that they're trying to grab a hold to, or the partner. So they'll never shut up about how they want to be married or meet a good man. Even as she stumbles from one failed relationship to another, she'll use creepy terms that indicate her desire to subsume herself into a narcissist. Don't be surprised if she says she wants to give herself to you, or she wants you to keep her until you die, or claiming she's suffering from relationship withdrawal after she gets dumped. Over clingy, almost desperate, obsessed clingy. Let's see. They don't take responsible for anything. That's like the male narcissist. They blame their problems on everyone else. They love inventing fantastical victim stories. When her boyfriend leaves for another woman, he's having a midlife crisis. When she gets fired from a job, it's because her boss is a jerk. When she cheats on her spouse, it's because he's drunk and whatever else. But nothing is ever her fault. So she'll never tell you what role she played in her husband leaving. Husband may have been tired of her, but it's his fault that he abandoned me, and I can't believe he would do me like this. I have his child. This is all I've done for him. But they never will tell you what it is that they did and the role that they played in the role that they've played in the role that they've played. I'm reading. I'm sorry. The role that they played in having their husbands leave. Let's see. They mirror the men that they're attracted to, so they often change their personalities to behave to match the men they're dating. So it's almost like they have a degree of borderline personality disorder. If you drum your fingers, they'll drum their fingers. Not all of them. Let's see. A lot of them are very promiscuous. They have no empathy. A lot of them are extremely passive aggressive. So if you upset them, they'll almost never confront you directly. Instead, they'll spread rumors about you. They bait you into getting angry at them. They publicly gaslight you. They'll accuse you of doing the same thing that they're doing to you. They'll accuse you of doing that. So they'll get at you, but they won't confront you one-on-one. They'll do things behind your back to get back at you. They lie to themselves and to others. And a lot of them are alcohol and drug addicts. Not all of them. So hopefully this has helped, giving you some information about the female narcissist. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there's anything in detail you'd like to know. So you see that female narcissist is very similar to the male narcissist, but they're very, some of them can be very facetious, very vindictive, and very competitive when it comes to other females. So hopefully that helped you out today. Thank you so much for viewing. If you have any questions, please, email me at Dr. Carmen Bryant, DrCarmenBryant, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much for emailing me. I know some of you are not able to post comments on the YouTube channel because you're still in the situation, and I'm honored that you guys would email me and ask questions and give me your stories. I'm so honored. Thank you so much. It's letting me know that, what I do is helping you guys out. For those of you that can post comments on YouTube, please, put some comments on YouTube, ask some questions on YouTube, tell me what you think, let me know. The teacher needs to know whether the student is learning anything. Let me know, let other people know, share the videos. Somebody needs to hear this, somebody needs help. I have some people that share videos with specific people, and they're so grateful that they're getting this information. It's not about me, it's about the information that you're getting. I'm honored to do what I do. I thank you guys for tuning in so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant, with a T, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. You'll see me. I have a white shirt on and some kind of bun going on, looking real serious. And you can go to my professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Like the page so you can see when the videos are uploaded. Go to YouTube, you'll see, and subscribe, and hit the bell so you get the chime whenever I upload another video. Do know that my personal Facebook page is reserved to people that I know personally. If I don't know you personally, I'm not going to invite you, or I'm not going to accept you into my personal Facebook page. That's my little private page for those people that know me. So you can use the professional Facebook page or the YouTube channel, and you're welcome to email me anytime you want to. Thank you guys so much for viewing. Hopefully this has helped. I know this is kind of long because I was wanting to make sure that I give you the difference between the male and the females. You see a lot of the females and males are very similar. So hopefully this has helped. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and you guys have an awesome day. And like my friend always say, go and be great.